Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. It's me, Snoops here. Welcome back. Before we get into it, man, we are now officially in the YouTube partner program, so which means that we got memberships available. So for the people that want to see these videos early, and also if you guys want to have, like member only, streams and be access to member only chats in those live streams here on the channel, or if you guys just want to see, builds that will be for members only, go ahead and hit that join button down below, man, because it's only $5 a month, $5, and you get access to premium, just over the top builds that are going to be perfect for your playstyle, and you guys can get priority when it comes to build videos and such. So if you guys have any requests or any builds you want to see me make as a member, you will be able to get priority to those builds, which means that I will make sure that that is the next video that is made. So if I make this video and then you become a member and then comment on this video, I'll make sure that the next build video that I make and get put up on the channel obviously will be yours, but also you get early access, as I mentioned, to all of these videos and everything, and then you'll also get like your own shout outs and everything for becoming a member. But anyway, become a Hall of Famer today, man, and get all of these awesome things. So early access to these videos, you get priorities in the comments and everything, so whatever your reply, I'll be seeing first. And then also, if you have requested builds, those will be uploaded as member only videos. So for the people that are watching this that are not considering becoming a member, there will be people that probably will become a member and request certain builds, and if they request a build that you might enjoy, go ahead and consider becoming a member, because those videos will be members only. But anyway, that's going to be it for that little spiel. Let's go ahead and talk about the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander build. The playoff builds continue as we continue on the series, man, in real life and in here on 2K. So anyway, we do have a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander build. This is something that I worked around with a little bit ago, but I messed around with it in a sense of where I was able to get a 3-level slasher name, but that's just because of the way that they made his template. But I figured this just kind of makes a little bit more sense to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and getting like all of his animations and everything. So I figured, why not go ahead and do this? So if we're talking about everything specifically, how they are in the game, like right here in the list, and then compare it to real life or my thoughts and everything, then we can go ahead and, say that I feel like this is kind of realistic. I feel like it is very, very realistic. I mean, we have the 88 driving layup here, which I feel like is very, very good. It's nothing really too crazy. You still get like practically all of his animations here, almost all of them. You need some caps for some other ones, but for the most part, if you don't give a shit about animations and whatever, you don't really need to worry about the caps then. But for the most part, this build is pretty damn solid. I mean, let's go ahead and talk about everything here. As I mentioned, the 88 driving layup, the 65 driving dunk, just something really, really decent about a 65 driving dunk and, realistic for it in terms of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in real life as well. He's not going to be dunking a lot. He does like a lot of layups and everything, but it's not like he's like driving to the basket and dunking over people. He doesn't really dunk a lot. And this is like something that a buddy of mine who is an OKC fan was telling me in the Discord when I asked for feedback on the build and everything. So some of this stuff is going to be specifically from him, and yeah, it's definitely going to be from him, or at least something similar to him. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things for sure. But they literally said that the dunk is way too high. He doesn't really dunk much. The most that they'd give him is like a 65 or a 70, which definitely does make a little bit of sense. And also the 65 version is what gives him practically just the basic animations, and his template also gave him a 65 as well, so it's nothing like really too crazy. But you know, for everything that is here, it definitely does make a lot of sense according to what my buddy was telling me. So yeah, let's go ahead and go over the rest of this stuff, because the 88 driving layup is pretty good. You can use caps on it. You can use 5 caps to get to a 93 driving layup. Get gold layup mixed master if you so really wanted to. Yeah, it's not like you get like a whole lot of other things as well. You get arrow wizard on bronze, physical finisher on bronze as well. You get that gold float game, but it's nothing really too crazy. You're not able to get the float game upgraded to Hall of Fame, unfortunately. But like I said, use caps. You can get the driving layup to a 93. Get gold layup mixmaster. You can get that one at least upgraded. So that's pretty good. As we mentioned, you know, he doesn't have like a whole crazy you know, driving dunk ability here. So he's really only going to be dunking in those fast breaks or the wide open lanes. But for the most part, he is going to be doing some driving layups. So he can get some dunks. He doesn't have posterize or anything like that. And he's got Aerial Wizard, so he can get some dunks off. I don't really think he's going to really get too many driving dunk lob animations, just because he doesn't have, you know, too high of a driving dunk for it. But he can, obviously in the right circumstances with the right passes and everything. You know, you could get some dunks off of lobs with this build, but that's just 2K, man. That's definitely 2K. I am more than likely just going to get layups. But then also, we don't have like too high of a vertical either, so that's the only reason why. But yeah, so I feel like all that's just realistic, because we kind of moved down to the shooting where, you know, he's kind of like really, really good all around. We didn't give him too high of a three-point rating, kind of like, you know, how it was on the Pacer builds, where majority of those Pacer builds, it was literally the 3-pointer being higher than the mid-range. But it's a little bit different because Shai, although he can shoot threes, he focuses more on his mid-range capabilities. So he's much more playing in the mid-range, kind of like your Kobe's, kind of like your MJ's, kind of like your LeBron's in a way as well. But obviously, Shai is not, you know, Shai is not anywhere close to MJ or Kobe in terms of like the mid-range ability, because he doesn't really focus much on the post control ability and being able to play the post up and, you know, do like the mid-range post fades or anything. He's much more you know, trying to get into the mid-range by being physical, and then also getting like step backs and everything off there. So that's why we kind of went high on the mid-range with an 89, so we can at least get that set shot specialist on gold for whenever we do hit, you know, like standstill shots, or especially from the 3. And then, you know, we have a high enough rating so we can use caps to get shifty shooter upgraded to gold, which makes sense. Ultimately, we can also get Deadeye upgraded. So those are practically the only things here, is that you would probably just use 3 caps just to get to Deadeye on gold. And then also, I mean, you can use 4 if you wanted to for a Hall of Fame set shot specialist, but I don't really think doing that is 100% necessary. But definitely getting that shifty shooter on gold will make a lot of sense. Same with Deadeye, at least. Those would be pretty good. And then you also get that bronze limitless range. You know, you at least have it on bronze because you have the 83 3-point rating. And as you can see, you can't really get it to an 89 anyway, so you can't really get that silver. So really no point in trying to upgrade it anything higher than this, or even using caps for that matter as well. So that's the only reason why I just say that we just have it at an 83 and we just leave it, because he is really good at shooting the 3, but he is mostly utilizing his mid-range and ability to attack the basket in, like, you know, draw fouls and everything. So that's practically the reason why we have high mid-range, high driving layup with, you know, like kind of like a low driving dunk. Like we said, he doesn't really dunk a whole lot. And then, you know, like a really good 3-point rating where we still can shoot consistently, but it's not like it's going to be the main focus point of the build. And then a 90 free throw, I put his free throw at a 90, even though some people would be like, oh, it's Shai, just put it at a 99 because he's a free throw merchant. I just put it at a 90 because even though, like, yes, some people can call him a free throw merchant or whatever, you know, obviously I'm a Pacers fan, and I'm throwing my bias aside for this as well. I mean, he's really good at, you know, drawing the fouls, man, whether people want to call him a foul merchant or anything, or a foul baiter. I mean, you can't deny that, you know, the way that he plays and everything, he's good at what he does, you know. But I just don't think a 99 is necessary, considering that he was only shooting roughly 89.8% from the free throw line. So not even 90%, just barely, just slightly under 90 on the shooting splits. But I just went with the 90 because obviously that just makes a lot of sense here. Having the 90 for 90% just made a lot of sense to me. And then for the playmaking, I know some people are going to be like, why does he have a high pass accuracy? He can't really pass the ball. He's not a playmaker like that. Well, like I said, this is mainly for the sake of being able to be like for the sake of 2K in the game itself, but also for the sake of his animations and everything. And he is like an underrated passer. When Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wants to pass the ball and he's able to get some, like, all of his guys set up, he is he's a very immaculate passer. Like, no doubt about it. He is no Tyrese Halliburton or Chris Paul by any means, but he is still a really, really good passer when he has the opportunity to be able to set his guys up properly, instead of playing hero ball most of the time. So whenever he does like get some like really, really good passing games in there, it's really good passing. But we went with the 93 because then we can use like some caps, obviously, to be able to get everything upgraded. I mean, we can use all 5 to then get Dimer and Break Starter upgraded to Legend if you really wanted to. Obviously, the Versatile Visionary and the Bailout, I believe those are the 2 that need a 99 to get maxed out to a Legend. So you won't be able to get either of those Legends. But for the most part, it definitely is not, necessary for the sake of this. It's really just necessary for the sake of if you wanted to use Shai's pass style, then you would just upgrade it and use all 3 caps to get to it, because it is a 96 requirement, 96 pass accuracy requirement for that. And then in the meantime, you'll get Versatile Visionary upgraded to gold. Same with Bailout. You'll get that upgraded to gold as well. So pretty good stuff there, man. I definitely do think that is pretty solid. But like I said, if you wanted to use all 5 and then get Break Starter and Dimer upgraded to Legend, you so can. But I just think that's like a waste of like 2 cap breakers that you can be using elsewhere. So there you have it. Ball handling being an 86, you can get all of his animations here, because I think you really only need like an 85, 86 rating for his dribble moves and everything like that. But ultimately, you still can utilize some cap breakers here, especially utilizing 4 caps for the sake of handles for days on gold. That's always an option. I don't really think it's 100% necessary, because it's not like you're going to be able to get Unpluckable upgraded anyway. Obviously, you have like strong handle on bronze, but it's not able to be upgraded any more than that unless you wanted to use all 5 caps on strength. And in that case, I would not really use caps at all here. Just because then you would need 5 caps, but you're not able to get Ankle Assassin upgraded. You're not really able to get handles for days unless you want to use the 4 caps. Unpluckable, you're not able to get either. But strong handle, you would need the strength, and you would have to use 5 caps for that. So that might not be like necessarily the best idea in the world. And then you would need 4 caps on your ball handling for handles for days on gold, which obviously if you're going to be like a main ball handler, then maybe do that. But there is like obviously other cap breaker potential on this build, which is the reason why I just don't really focus on the ball handling that much. And then we have Silver Lightning Launch, and I know that some people will be like, why not just give him the 86 Beal ball just so we can get Gold Lightning Launch? Well, the thing is, he's listed at 6'6", 200 pounds, but the problem is you need to be at 195 pounds in order to get the the speed of the ball to an 86, or at least have it be maxed out and available to be at an 86, which would be pretty solid to be able to do. Ultimately, you could easily do that and just utilize caps, but the 84 is what is needed for his dribble style, which is the only reason why I just kept it like this, because 84 is needed for his dribble style. If anything, just probably drop the pass accuracy down to like a 92, and then try to like upgrade the speed with ball to an 86. But then having the 86 speed with ball, if I recall properly, I think it would have to be like an 81 speed as well. So it probably would be a little more tricky to do that way. Meanwhile, it's like with the 93 pass accuracy, we just need the 3 caps there. And we also have like the Break Starter available and also having the 93 gives us the ability to have these legend playmaking badges here with diamond break starter if we so choose and still wanted to. But 84 is all that you need for his dribble style. I don't really think it's necessary to have like gold lightning launch or anything higher than silver, because it's not like he's like insanely fast. He's not like a Kyrie or a James Harden. Well, I guess James Harden really isn't that quick. He's more like shifty. He's not like a Chris Paul or a TJ McConnell or like, you know, any like guard that's like pretty quick and have like these like explosive launches to the basket. He's no De'Aaron Fox. Like he's not like one of those guys. He's definitely more shifty than you know, like insanely quick. Now with the defense, we have an 82 perimeter defense, a 73 steal, 50 block rating. I have it increased a little bit, at least to 50, because he is averaging like 1 block a game, and you know, I'm pretty sure you can at least get 1 block with a 50 here, on average, as a 6'6" point guard, especially if you are guarding, you know, like smaller guards. So that should be no problem at all. 60 offensive rebound with a 50 defensive rebound, because he can get some boards. He's not going to get like a ton of boards every game, but he can obviously grab a lot of boards. But the 50 interior defense, just because we know he's not like necessarily the best interior defender, he can obviously get blocks, and he averages 1 block a game this season. So it's nothing really too crazy, but he can obviously defend a little bit, or at least like get like stops. So obviously the 50 makes sense. I mean, there was that one driving layup by Tyrese Halliburton that was, you know, very like smothered, had a lot of contact, but he managed to get it up and in as well. But the 82 perimeter defense, I feel like made a little bit of sense. I don't think he's as great of like a perimeter defender as somebody like Nembhard or Aaron Nesmith. He definitely is better at, you know, defending the perimeter than like Tyrese Halliburton. But obviously when it comes to like the perimeter defense and everything, he's like one of the lower tiers on his team. But everybody on OKC is a pretty decent on-ball defender. Like you have, you know, Casey Wallace, who's pretty decent. You have Alex Caruso, who obviously is known for his great defense. You have Lou Dort, who's known for his great defense. J-Dub as well. I mean, you have like a lot of these great players. Isaiah Joe, underrated defender as well, in my personal opinion. But yeah, you definitely have like these guys like that are really good. So it's like all of them, I do believe, would require like an 85 plus perimeter defense. But when you have Shai, that's like a little bit like on the worst end, but can be, you know, when he locks in, he can be as good, if not like, you know, at least, you know, to their level a little bit, on the perimeter defense. So I gave him like an 82, which does give you the challenger badge on silver. Then you have like the opportunity at using cap breakers to be able to get on-ball menace and pick dodger upgraded as well. And then obviously you can't really do too much when it comes to off-ball pest unless you use all 5 caps. I don't think that's necessary, but you do get this the silver challenger out of the gate, at least there. But you do have the ability to get on-ball menace and pick dodger, both upgraded if you use caps here. That's just an option there. He's not really the best, you know, when it comes to getting steals. I mean, he obviously does get like a lot of steals, but when it comes to getting like a lot of steals in terms of like relaying that into 2K attributes, I feel like getting a lot of steals is definitely super easy to do, especially if you are playing the right passing lanes and everything like that. If you're playing like an OKC kind of defense in 2K, then obviously you should be able to get like a lot of steals no matter what. Whenever you're in those lanes, no matter what rating you have, even if you have like a 60, you should be able to. But with a 73, where you have that interceptor badge on silver and bronze glove, because he's not really too crazy of like an on-ball defender, he's going to get like a lot of steals, mainly from like getting some pokes, but it's mostly going to be from playing in those passing lanes. I mean, it's the same thing with like Alex Caruso, where Alex Caruso loves to bait those passing lanes, especially to the inside. He gets a lot of steals on those inside passes. So when it comes to these insane, you know, like steal numbers from OKC, they're mostly going to be in the passing lanes. So that's the only reason why we don't have it really upgraded anything past the 73, because silver interceptor should be good enough as long as you're in those passing lanes and you are really, really good at, you know, just timing it and everything and just like baiting the passes. Should have no problem doing that at all. We have a 50 block rating, as I mentioned. He's a good interior defender, but he's not going to get stops every single time. He can, but he averages 1 block per game. So there's that. Or at least like roughly a block per game. I don't know if it's exactly one block per game, or at least it could be like around there. He's above average. He's above average at getting blocks and everything like that. So we do have a 50 at least, just so he can do that. And then for the 60 offensive rebound and the 50 defensive rebound, as I mentioned, he's like he can grab some boards. I mean, he's averaging like about 5 boards per game this season. So it's not like he's grabbing like too many boards, but he is obviously grabbing boards. And he also, I just looked and he is averaging 1 block per game. So I was right there. But yeah, I mean, everybody on OKC is going to have like a lot of steals, as I mentioned, just because it's one of those situations where, yeah, I mean, they're just a really, really good team at baiting the passing lanes. But the rebounding, give him a 60 on the offensive, 50 on the defensive, just so he can get some more boards if he has to, especially when he's like driving to the paint and trying to get those layups. It's going to be a little bit better just to get those. It's going to be like a little bit better to get those layups, especially over those smaller guys that don't have like a 60 rebound that are trying to get stops on you. So that could be a little bit easier there. Now at the 80 speed and 80 agility, like I mentioned before, he's not like, you know, insanely quick, but most of the time he is going to be with the ball, because he is a very, very, like, when he's on offense, he's going to have the ball a lot of the time. So it just makes a lot of sense to have, you know, at least like an 80 speed, 80 agility, nothing really too crazy, where he has like slippery off ball on gold. I don't really think that's necessary, but just so he can like stay keeping up with guys on the perimeter defensive end. And then, you know, having like a good enough speed where he can get up and down the court. So there's that. That's the only reason why. But we do have slippery off ball on silver, just in case we do have to play the off ball for whatever reason. And then obviously shifty shooter on silver, pick dodger, and on ball menace on bronze. Like we mentioned, we can get those upgraded to silver. Nothing too crazy there. 60 strength. He does have some strength on him, but it's not like, you know, too crazy. But we did give him a 60 just so we can get that physical finisher and strong handle to try and bait those drives in the fouls on the drives. Pretty good stuff there. And then the 60 vertical doesn't really have too crazy a vertical, like we said. It's not like he's going to be driving and dunking a whole lot. So give him like a low vertical. And the low vertical, like a lot of this stuff here is from when he had, from when I was messing around with the template. So it's like the low vertical was also from the template. So don't yell at me. He also had a low vertical on the template as well, if I'm not mistaken. Or they could have given him like a higher vert just for the sake of like rebounding and stuff, but they didn't even give him like a rebound rating. They didn't even give him like a block rating. They gave him like an 85 steal, which, you know, wouldn't make sense, but I feel like that's a little too high in terms of like 2K. Because like I said, he's gonna get like, he's not like going to be insane at getting, you know, like steals or anything like that every possession. He is going to get multiple steals per game pretty much, but he's not going to be like that consistent to where he deserves like an 85, you know. So I just gave him like the 73, and then they gave him like an 85 perimeter defense, which makes a lot of sense. But like I said, just wanted to keep him down a little bit since he is like the weakest perimeter defender on the team in my personal opinion. But he's still like obviously better than like Tyrese Halliburton and like some of the other guys on the Pacers. So there's that. But I feel like a lot of this just kind of makes sense with, you know, the build and everything. Shout out to Trey Mann for some reason slipping in here in the shades of. Not like he's useful or anything. Not like I've heard the name of Trey Mann in like forever. But we do have Drew Holiday. We have Tyrese Halliburton. Those two, you know, obviously make a little bit of sense. And then obviously no shades of Shai in this because obviously 2K kind of likes to over exaggerate some of the stats, and you know, sometimes the shades of is kind of difficult to get for some reason, for some strange reason. But yeah, but a 3-level scoring playmaker definitely makes a lot of sense to me, in my personal opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Make sure you leave like a like, leave a comment, maybe some feedback of what you would probably do differently with this build. If you guys want to become a member, go ahead, become a member, and then you know, comment some requests that you have for builds. I'll get to them. And same thing with next year, man. Same thing with 2K26. Everything here is gonna be similar to where it's like a lot of my builds day one are going to be released as like member only videos, and then obviously like, or at least like they're gonna be like members first, and then obviously like when the game is like fully, you know, like out for like a day or whatever, then I will like put them out for the public. But obviously everybody knows that the members will get the views first. But anyway, that's going to be it for this. Hope that you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one.